How do we start a reading vlog? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I'm doing my historical romance readathon vlog. Today's actually Friday and I never filmed a intro properly on Monday, but I did film clips of myself throughout the whole week reviewing books and giving you reading progresses as it happened. And I've discussed some of the books that I have read throughout the week. I took a break with reading mostly on Wednesday and filming on Wednesday and Thursday as well, mostly because I got my second dose of the vaccine and it kind of wiped me out and it made me feel super gross. But you guys will see clips of my reading throughout the week very soon. So I just finished 2 books this morning. So I actually ended up cheating a little bit on Sunday, right before the readathon. And I started an audiobook and I had around an hour left. So I decided to finish it in the morning of the day one of the historical romance readathon at midnight. So the book that I did read was Her First Desire by Kathy Maxwell. And to be honest, when I added it to my TBR, I already knew that I wasn't going to like it, mostly because I've had some bad instances with Kathy Maxwell's books. I feel like her books and I do not click because usually they're very boring or the romance seems very forced and it doesn't seem natural. So with Her First Desire, I actually ended up not really liking it, mostly because, like, yes, I was, kind of gripped when I first started listening to the audiobook, but it quickly became more about the side characters and then their feud as opposed to their actual relationship development. It was a very strong enemies to lovers romance, and it was a very strong opposites attract romance. I felt like that when the romance did unfold, I did not like it at all. It felt like it was really random. And then afterwards, I also didn't like the fact that he was engaged throughout the whole book and she knew, and then they still had like feelings for each other. So it did feel kind of like cheating. If you take a look at all the reviews on Goodreads, you would actually see that everybody's upset about the cheating and some can't really overlook it. So I gave this one a 2 out of 5 stars, mostly because it was just very painful to finish. Like I was just like so tired of the plot. It was not as light and it's not as funny as I thought it would be. So the second book that I did manage to finish on day one of the readathon was actually 16 Scandals by Sophie Jordan. Now this one is a YA historical romance and I like Sophie Jordan's writings, but hers is like a hit or miss for me too. Like her books are never 5 out of 5 stars for me. It's usually like 3 or 4 out of 5 stars and sometimes maybe a 2 out of 5 stars if it's too zany and a little bit too crazy. So with 16 Scandals, I wasn't really expecting too much, but it's basically about a 16-year-old girl who wants to debut, but her family delays the debut. And she's so upset by this because like she really wants like a big sweet 16 party and she wants to debut and meet all the men and like have fun. So she decides to like play dress up and then she escapes and then she wants to have her like, one day of special like extravagance. So she goes out and she causes a lot of trouble and there she meets some really cute boys and she goes hangs out with one of the cute boys and they have like a lot of fun and there's like a lot of things that they do that are really crazy and that can get them in a lot of trouble. And then it had a lot of like Just One Day by Gail Forman vibes. So if you guys know that YA book that was really popular like maybe like 5, 6, 10 years ago, then and if you like that one, then maybe you'll like 16 Scandals. It focused a lot more about finding yourself and having that adventure as opposed to like the romance of it, which is as expected because it is a YA novel. But still, I found it to be really lighthearted and it was pretty fun and entertaining. It was a very quick read and I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, the thing that I thought it was really weird and a little bit quirky is the fact that like back in those days, like you're supposed to get married at that age of 16. Like there is no such thing as like the historical romances that we're seeing right now where, girls are getting married at like 24 or like 28, which is like the standard ages that we see in present time where you get married. So the romance felt a little bit like realistic in that sense, meaning like yeah, like in the past, like literally girls that were 16 were married to men and like married to boys. And like our hero is 16 too, so like it's not creepy, but I just thought that that was fun, that it was like realistic in that sense. But that's my little check-in for day one for the reads that I've read so far. Right now it's noon time and I'm finishing up my lunch break. So I will update you guys on other reads that I have managed to finish today too as well later. Anyways, so I'm back and I feel like all my footage will be like this, close up, right front, face, and center, so get used to it. But I just finished work and I finished work around 6, so it's now 6:43. I got off the phone with a friend because that's what you do in pandemics. You get on your phone with a friend and you discuss life and you discuss about your work and you discuss about your stress, you discuss about your job, you discuss about your mental breakdowns at 3 a.m. in the morning because you don't know what you want to do with your life anymore. You are someone in your mid 20s. You feel like you should accomplish more. You feel like you should have had a solid career path, a family, a house, like every little good thing. But no, sadly, we're not like that. But, anyways, going back to the readathon. So, I finished my third book today. Really good start to our readathon. And it was called A Delicate or The Delicate Deception by Cat Sebastian. I'll put the book here so we know what we're talking about. Basically, this one was a real toughie for me to give it a good rating and real toughie for me to even rate it in the first place. So, what is this book about? It's a friends to lovers romance. It involves basically our girl who is like a lady. She is so sick and tired of London society that she like literally goes to a small town cottage and she lives her life peacefully there without judgment from society, without the pressures of trying to find a suitable husband, without the pressures of finding a suitable husband and starting a family. So she's off there to go write her book because she is an avid writer. And then she meets our hero who is walking along her when she's walking in the giant fields, and then that's where they spark their friendship. I don't really think that they had like a very strong attraction to each other when they first started, but it's not like, oh yeah, like she's ugly, I don't want to be with her. It was more like, yeah, like she's good looking, but like I just want to be your friend first, which was really different from the historical romances that I typically do read because I feel like it's more like hot passion. Anyway, so they spark a friendship, they go on walks with each other, they talk, they discuss their hobbies. He is an engineer and he wants to build like London's first like train station, train build up, whatever you like to call it. He wants to create trains. And she's fascinated by his like fascination with like creating this, and they're both very passionate people about their projects and about their careers. And then afterwards they kiss and they decide that, you know what, they like each other and they try to pursue something like, lighthearted and cute, but obviously it doesn't work out that way, and the romance kind of just grows naturally and it's more of a slow burn romance in that sense. And it's really cute in a lot of ways because our character, like our hero, was very vulnerable with his emotions and he just wanted to do a lot of things, but then he was doubting himself a lot. Meanwhile, our heroine was the same way, and they both wanted to pursue things and they didn't want to give up on their things for each other because they knew that that wasn't like a healthy state of relationship where if they both like just give up things just to be together, like that was like a dumb move. So yeah, lots of things I liked, but overall I didn't really like this book because it was just so slow burn and it was only like 200, like under 300 pages, but I felt like it dragged on forever and I was just so annoyed with like our characters just kind of talking about trains. So I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. So far in the readathon, I have read a lot of 3-star novels and 1 2-star novel, which is not good. Like, I am not pleased. And usually what happens with me is that I gain momentum along the way. So, like, if I don't read anything good soon, I'm going to start feeling discouraged by the genre and I'll pick up something outside of the genre, which is not good because, hello, I am the host of the Historical Romance Readathon with my friends. What am I doing with my life? So, the next book that I'm going to pick up is going to be something juicy. I don't know which one yet. I don't know if I'm going to pick up Kate Bateman. A little thing about Kate Bateman is that I actually read books number 1 and 2 in that series, and I read it over the weekend. And it was good, but it wasn't fast and juicy like I wanted it to be. I live a pretty boring life. I'm gonna go for an evening walk like I always do. So since the pandemic started in March 2020, I've been going on evening walks every single day. And on days that I don't go on for evening walks, I feel like a big bag of poop. and I try not to do it. So I try to get some exercise in, try to get my steps in with my fitness watch. So yes, outside right now, blazing hot, very sticky, very humid, very gross. There's heat warnings and everything. But my mother, she wants to go for a walk because she wants to see me perish outside. So she said that we're going to do a walk after dinner. But right now it's already 7. So I think we are going to eat dinner soon. And then we're going to go for a walk later. But really hot outside, really gross. My room is like already heating up. And yeah, I don't know what to put in this vlog because like aesthetic shots, I don't have aesthetic shots. Like what do people put in their vlogs to make it look more interesting and fill it? What do people like in vlogs? Talking? Do you guys like talking more? Do you guys like it when people talk? I don't know. So if anybody's wondering what I stare at for like 8-9 hours a day, it's this. This is my desk. Let's do a desk tour. Okay, so this is a bottle of water that I chugged this morning and afternoon because I felt myself being very parched and dehydrated. The cap is there. It's gonna spill soon. Then I have my little traveler's mug from Grace Calloway, Olivia and the Mass Duke. This is our group read. Did not read it yet. It's day 1. I'm good to go. Then we have a piece of hair here because I'm disgusting. We have a Red Bull here because caffeine is your friend when you sleep at 2 a.m. every single day. We have my AirPods here. We have this cool little keyboard here that I bought because I thought that rainbow colors and LED lights would cure my depression when I'm working. Spoiler alert, it did not, but it is a little bit more fun now to type out an angry email to myself for forgetting something. I just want to point out that I use textbooks as my monitor stands because I did not want to pay for a real monitor stand since I had all these textbooks lying around. So this is my sister's textbook. She did nursing. This is my textbook. I did accounting, so I had to learn some finance. And we got a massive load of garbage just lying around. Lots of water bottles, because in the middle of the night I need to drink water. We got some Advil to really help me out. We got a calculator when the Excel sheet isn't working fast enough. We got a granola bar here in the back because your girl gets hungry around 4 o'clock and sometimes she doesn't have time to go downstairs for a little quick snack because she's like really busy. And then yeah, that's basically it. We got a pair of scissors here so that I can quickly cut open some packages that I have. Good morning. So it is day 2 of the historical romance readathon, and I thought I would just give you guys a quick update on what I have read since we've last met and since we've last talked. So the one book that I didn't mention yesterday was How to Catch a Countess by Karen Hawkins. And now Karen Hawkins is an author that I've heard about, I've seen, and that I've collected on my shelves, but I haven't had the opportunity to pick up her books until yesterday when I found it at my library and I saw that the book was only around 9 hours long, which was very doable for me. So I picked it up and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars, but if I were to be really honest, I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars because there was some things that it wasn't perfect for me and I was like, okay, something's a little bit off with this one, but I still really enjoyed it. And How to Catch a Countess is basically about these two people, like our hero and heroine, who met when they were like teenagers, and she was completely like smitten with him because he's like the best looking guy. And then afterwards, so she tries to seduce him by like trying to have a kiss with him near the water fountain, and they do share a very passionate kiss, but she's so innocent and she's so young and she just doesn't know what it's supposed to mean to like have those emotions build up in her, so she got nervous and then she pushed him into the water fountain, which caused like this whole humiliation thing going on. And then years later, he's still holding on to his grudge and he's still looking for that mysterious girl who pushed him into the water fountain until he realizes who it is and he invites her to his aunt's like garden party. And then that's where he pursues her to try to like humiliate her afterwards. But like it's not like a secret. Like he is telling her like I'm going to try to seduce you. It's going to be a wager and then afterwards I will win and then you will be like the butt of the joke kind of thing. And then she's just like, you can try, but I'm not going to be attracted to you anymore. Back when I was like a teenager, I was stupid, I was foolish. Now I know my place and now I know who I am. So I feel like if you like Tessa Dare, then you will like Karen Hawkins as well. So now I'm reading the second one, and I think the second one is called How to Catch a Princess. And then now this one involves our heroine, and it's kind of like Beauty and the Beast retelling kind of thing, but not really. Like, I would say like Belle and her father is the only two like characters from Beauty and the Beast that are similar in this story. So we got a father who is like really book smart, really like into his science and wants to do his experiments, but is stupid with money and has borrowed a lot of money from people and now he has to repay them back. But there's no way for him to pay these people back. So our heroine actually tries to sacrifice herself and tries to marry someone really wealthy so that she can use that money and help repay her father's loans. And then so she sets out to this garden party that we mentioned in book number 1. And then that's where she is set up with an earl. And then that's where she thinks that she can like marry without love. But along the way, she actually bumps into a man just walking on the street kind of thing. And then she realizes that man is actually a prince of like this country that I completely forgot the name of, and he is a very poor prince. So he's no longer like, he's not like a rich prince. So he is obviously not the right person for her because she needs money and he doesn't have it. Then he's like instantly in love with her. Like it's a very insta love where he knows what he wants and he's going to get what he wants. And so he pursues her throughout this whole book and he's like a puppy dog just following her along the way, and she's just like, stop following me, like I'm not gonna like you, but deep down she's starting to like him and it's actually growing on her. And I think that's like the really cute part. I think the part where I struggled the most was his insta love, where I was just like, come on man, like this seems a little sketch, like this seems a little forced, you know. But anyways, I am 70% almost done with it. I'm about to start work and I will update you guys when I have the time during the day and to tell you what my rating is. Right now, I'm sitting between a 3 and a 4 stars. So I just realized that for the past previous clips, I've been saying the wrong title for the book. And the book is actually called How to Pursue a Princess, not to How to Catch a Princess. But anyways, that's the title of the book, and I finally finished it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars in the end, mostly because I felt a little bit icky towards our main female character. I would say icky because our main hero really loves her and is following her like a lovesick puppy. But then our main heroine doesn't give him a time of day, and it gets really hard for him because he's just like so lovesick and he just wants like any like desperate signs of like attraction from her, and like he's just trying to convince her that he is the one. It also reminds me of the movie The Princess Bride because like I never even watched The Princess Bride, but like basically it reminds me of it because there's this line that says like as you wish, and that's exactly from Princess Bride. So I feel like if you like Princess Bride, you might really enjoy this story more than me. But unfortunately, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, mostly because I wanted her to grovel and I wanted her to run back to him and chase him, and him like kind of snubbing her like more, so that it evens out and it's not like one person loves the other person more than the other person loves them. And then obviously, you know, it's a romance, so it does work out happily ever after in the end. Everybody gets sorted out and things look for the best for both characters. You know, like it's a very not it's not like a cheesy story, but it's like something that's like, oh yeah, you know, like of course that would happen. It's not like exactly like the most realistic romance ever, which is like fine because like romance doesn't have to be always realistic just to be good. And it doesn't mean that just because it's not realistic, it's bad. But anyways, that is How to Pursue a Princess, and now I am done book number 5, so now I'm moving on to book number 6. And today's only Tuesday. I'm dying here at work, not in this readathon, but the next one that I'm reading, I think, is In Her Master's Bed or In the Master's Bed. I always forget the title of the books I'm reading, but it's by Blythe Gifford. And now this one's a Harlequin historical romance from years ago, but I do have a physical copy of it that I bought from the thrift shop. And I was intrigued by it because our main heroine actually dresses up like a boy, and then our hero kind of saves him. And then obviously he's confused because he's like so attracted to this boy. So seems like it's gonna be fun. I have it on audiobook from the library, and so far the narrator is kind of like grinding my gears because of the way that she reads the stories. It just sounds a little bit stiff, and there's a lot of pauses. So yeah,